It's real!
Real life.
By grace. Unless you've been living on a moisture farm on Tatooine, you've probably seen the recent Star Wars trailer for the new movie, The Last Jedi. An ominous title made even more ominous by Luke Skywalker's bombshell line.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
Say what? End the Jedi? How's that even going to work? It's not exactly like Snoke and Kylo Ren in the First Order about to lay down their weapons. Can we really survive without a Jedi? Well, believe it or not, I actually think this is a great idea. And before you all lose your minds, let me explain why. By the time of the Clone Wars, the Jedi Order had grown incredibly arrogant in their skills and their belief that they could see what was truly happening in the Force. This arrogance blinded them to a great evil growing right beneath their nose: Palpatine. Palpatine was not only able to grow stronger in power while living right next door to the Jedi, he actually used and manipulated them to spread greater chaos in the galaxy. The Jedi meant well, but their perspective was narrow due to this arrogance. Up until the recent Clone Wars, most Jedi had barely mingled with anyone outside of their order. They protected the galaxy, but very few of them had relationship and connection with the people they protected. This isolation from the rest of the world narrowed their ability to see the truth of what was happening before it was too late. After the initial carnage of Order 66, Palpatine made one final move that sealed the Jedi's fate. The population quickly became Palpatine's allies in this venture. Since very few of the population actually knew the Jedi, they were easily swayed by the Emperor's lies. The Jedi principle of no attachments is a very dangerous one in my opinion. Cutting yourself off from relationship and people means cutting yourself off from a vital source of strength to living beings. I've heard a lot of fans use Anakin as the poster boy for why attachments are bad, but I don't agree with that statement. Anakin had a whole host of issues besides his attachments and deep emotions for those he cared about. More often than not, I think Anakin was at his best when he was with the people he loved. They gave him extra conviction and purpose in his actions. You get to experience this on a much deeper level in the Clone Wars series than the movies. If you notice, the times that Palpatine was able to get to Anakin was usually when Anakin was alone. That's also when he made his worst decisions. Palpatine knew that if he tried to lure Anakin to the dark side when Anakin had support, Palpatine would fail. I believe if Obi-Wan or Padme had been there at that final moment before his fall, Anakin would have resisted Palpatine and maybe even defeated him. Anakin Skywalker, powerful Jedi, rule breaker, husband and father, now Darth Vader. The story seems to confirm that attachments and Jedi don't mix. Or does it? Return of the Jedi, a double meaning for Luke Skywalker's taking up the legacy of the Jedi, and for the redemption of Anakin Skywalker. But how does this redemption come about? Nope.
I've accepted the truth that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father. Your feelings, father.
It is too late for me, son.
Then my father is truly dead.
Your thoughts betray you, father. I feel the good in you, the conflict.
You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
What gradually brought Anakin Skywalker back was his son's belief in him. And what moved him to action against the very evil that destroyed the Jedi was his son's cry for help. Love, attachment, trust in a person, all preached against by the Jedi, are the very things that defeated the ones who destroyed them. The previous Jedi Order thrived for centuries before Palpatine in the fall of the Republic. I think this is largely due to the fact that there was a much more established structure to that galaxy. More planets had stable governments. There were groups, orders, and established cultures. It was an elegant world of stability. All of that was broken and then came crashing to the ground with the Jedi Purge and Palpatine's seizure of power. The Empire blotted out this rich, beautiful world with a dark grip that left the galaxy in chaos. Out of the ashes and the shadows rose a ragtag group of freedom fighters known as the Rebellion. They were poor, scrappy, and came from all corners and occupations of the galaxy. And yet, they were effective. A thorn in the Empire's side that just wouldn't go away, that just kept getting stronger. This group was made up of politicians, pilots, spies, mechanics, smugglers, outcasts, misfits, former military leaders, and a lot of people in between. This was the world that Luke Skywalker, our new Jedi character, entered. The defeat of the Emperor and the Empire was a team victory, not just a feat accomplished by our Jedi character. It was a group effort made by a colorful collection of people united in a single cause. We have been given very little information about the history of the First Order, the Resistance, the short-lived New Republic, Supreme Leader Snoke, and the Knights of Ren. We do, however, know that our galaxy is still a different world from the old one. The people in charge of this world are more varied in background and experience than the elegant world of the prequels. They aren't Jedi, but they have fought for freedom and peace, and they've done an amazing job. This is a new galaxy, one that does not allow for a Jedi structure anymore. Luke may have finally realized this after sitting alone on an island for R2-D2 knows how long. The destruction of his new order, another event we know little about, has caused him to reevaluate a lot of things. Things that will likely be revealed in The Last Jedi. It's obvious from the trailer that Luke is still training Rey in Jedi and Force skills, so I don't believe that Luke is planning to do away with everything Jedi. Instead, I think he's realized that it's time to adapt. To sum up, the Jedi were an order that protected the galaxy for centuries, but because they did not stay vigilant, they grew arrogant and unnecessarily isolated. This weakened them and contributed to their downfall. The Jedi believed that making attachments would weaken their ability to be effective. There's a measure of truth to this, but making that an absolute statute for every single Jedi was a mistake. It meant that the Jedi were an island unto themselves, with no backup, no support, no legacy. This is a different galaxy from the one that allowed the Jedi to survive. Trying to replicate a system from a lost world is foolish. It's time to get with the program and adapt to the galaxy as it is now. Just so you all know, I'm not dissing on the Jedi here. I love the Jedi as characters. I think they have great stories, that they have a unique perspective on the galaxy, and I will continue to enjoy all Jedi characters. But I'm really excited about the concept of broadening the scope of exactly what it means to be a Jedi and making that less removed from all these other incredible stories and characters in the Star Wars galaxy. I believe the creators of Star Wars have been subtly pushing us in this direction for a long time now. In the recent movie Rogue One, Gareth Edwards commented on how he wanted to show non-Jedi characters interacting with the Force. If the Force binds the galaxy together and moves through all life forms, then it really shouldn't be something that just happens between Jedi and Sith. There is a greater universe of people that can interact with the Force. I think that doing away with the concept of a strict Jedi order is a great way to open up the Star Wars story to include more characters of different backgrounds interacting with the Force. I want to know what you think. Do you think doing away with the old idea of what a Jedi is a good idea? Do you agree with me and my reasons? What does Luke mean by it's time for the Jedi to end? Like, comment, and share. Tell me what you think about this, and let's start a conversation. The entire reason that I'm here is to interact with you guys. This is my favorite part of any fictional world, but especially the Star Wars world, is how many of us can talk about and discuss things from across countries, generations, backgrounds. It doesn't matter. We're all Star Wars fans. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss next week's video, The New Breed of Jedi. Have a great day, and may the Force be with you.